Alright folks, welcome in. This is going to be another Stormgate cast. This will be a three-fer. This will be starring the TeenyWeenyTV. Playing Infernal today in the red. Here we are on Ruination. And his opponent, a new challenger, the FreakyChamelion. Look how freaky he is. Aww. I mentioned already, we're playing out on Ruination here. The FreakyChamelion opening with an array and a purifier, it looks like to be a pretty standard celestial opening in this patch. Whereas TeenyWeeny has opted for a little bit of Ethereum gathering here, has built a vault, has a shrine on the way, and we saw that first brute immediately get split into these two fiends. Where are they going to go? I bet they are going to go scout. That's what it looks like they're doing, of course. And what do they see here in the freaky base? They see that there is a creation chamber and nothing else yet, so there has to be a Sovereign's Watch called, and it is a successful Sovereign's Watch, melting both of those poor fiends to death. To their death. And they did not get the power bank, but they did force the Sovereign's Watch and get a scout. And that's all they were there for. We see some imps transferring down here. We almost got a fully saturated base. And looks like Infernal Fury is on the way. And TeenyWeeny has been greedy in some of these games that we've been casting of his. He's been our recent star of this channel. So welcome TeenyWeeny and thank you for playing these games. And like I said, a little greedy because we see this imp coming out here. He's obviously waiting to put down a shrine. But we also had another shrine over here with an effigy to speed it up. So this will be a little slower up here. Both of these shrines are up. Oh, notice pulled the Ethereum miners. And is that to rally them up here maybe once that shrine is done? I'm not sure. But we are at 10 to 12 here. 10 to 12 here, alright. What do we got going back here for the Freaky? Freaky has an Archon popped. He's on 2 Legion Hall. So this looks like it's probably Seraphim opening. Indeed, we got our first Seraphim out. Or about to pop. There we go. This base is up for the TeenyWeeny. We see extra vaults being added. Looks like charges being saved on the vaults. And maybe a little bit of a bank, but it's actually Freaky with a little more of a bank right now. This base just finishing here. Oh, 3 imps popping out right away. And they're going mining. Not on the Ethereum. And this imp is got another mission. And if I know the TeenyWeenyTV, it's probably for another base. Why not? Haven't been attacked yet, just keep making bases. Has the Luminite, but is currently not doing it. Now what happened to our Seraphims here? We see our first Seraphim out. These Seraphim came over here and took the Ethereum camp first. That's got to be a signal to TeenyWeeny. Though we are 4 minutes in, so we're starting to get pretty deep in the game. It's just mining Luminite, just mining Luminite. We got 1 on Ethereum here. Here we have 2 on Ethereum. And so TeenyWeeny, oh, we do have a brute for, there are a couple gaunts in there. Hard to tell. But yeah, we got a couple gaunts in there. Brutes and gaunts. Brutes and gaunts and brutes and gaunts. You know what I mean? Got just Seraphim. I knew there were a few Argents back home, and there continue to be Argents popping out. But it looks like the FreakyChamelion is going for Seraphim. And, oh, the Fiend does get by. He gets a scout and does scoot by. And Brutes showing up here. Brutes aren't going to do anything to Seraphim. And the Seraphim find the Gaunts. That's bad news. TeenyWeeny, I think, is deciding maybe I'll just try and push in with what I have. There is enough Seraphim here that I think that the Brutes won't get a lot done, especially with Argents here to help. Purify goes down. Brutes are like, let's get out of here. And they split into 2 packs. But most of them are splitting into 2 Fiends. And a few get away. A space up. Stones going down. When you're greedy like this, once your bases are up, you can start putting down some defenses, because your income's probably pretty good. We got double ritual chamber here, as well as another Hellforge in the back. This is an interesting game. But Freaky is the one who's looking to maybe do something, has an army. A lot of Gaunts were produced by TeenyWeeny to try and deal with these Seraphims. Seraphims capture the speed camp and just say, well, I'm going to keep killing imps while I'm here. And not a lot that can be done about that. We see Hellborn being added, or Seraphim coming as well. So this base is going to go down. But remember, TeenyWeeny was pretty greedy here. Argent's defending this base as it gets up and saturated. Looking for more bases since, hey, that was kind of a strange base to find out. In fact, this base is less commonly taken as the whatever 5th base there. It's more often this base here or this one. And the Seraphim are circling back. TeenyWeeny, no. Oh, no, they paused. Don't worry, TeenyWeeny, you have a moment. I lied. I lied. Here they come. Now, Seraphim have some kind of cool power where they can lock down stuff, but I think you have to research it. And I didn't see it being activated there. Maybe it was. I don't know. I actually don't know what it looks like, if it has some kind of visual... something that tells us. Some kind of graphics. Ooh, nice snipe there. This base is a rough base. Always bad when you have a cliff right above your miners. One shroud stone up. What's this on the high ground? Oh, there's a phantom, but it died. Like, how's it staying alive up there? No, it's just about to die. Gaunts down here might be able to do something. There's not too many. Where are they? It's hard to tell when they blend in. Everything's kind of black and gray. Hopefully some of the visual stuff will get tweaked as we move forward. 0.5 coming up very soon. And whoa, okay, Freaky is saying it's time to move out, and I've got a huge Argent force. And is baiting TeenyWeeny to come and defend. TeenyWeeny says, hey, I got enough to defend your silly units, but I think Freaky wants to get him in some kind of pincer, although TeenyWeeny, oh, poor TeenyWeeny's army doesn't know which way to go, still loses the shrine. Lots of Argents here. We get a couple of Dark Prophecies. And unfortunately, this army is kind of pincered here. The Seraphim in the back there, they're not exactly a ground force, but they can force some more damage. A lot of healing coming from the Animancers we saw there. We get an Unseen Veil. And a little bit of a flank. Animancers went the other way around and just body blocked, which turned out to be okay. Another army showing up with some Shadow Flyers. Shadow Flyers trying to go for the Seraphim here, and do get some pretty good shots. Dark Prophecies, though, on top of the Brutes are... Ooh, they walk back through the Brutes. One thing you don't want to do when you're facing Dark Prophecy is what I call the hokey pokey. That's where you walk forward through it, and then you walk backwards through it. If you do that, you're just taking all the damage, and then it's probably going to explode on you anyways. If you're moving forward through it and battling, might as well continue to attack. If you can push forward and get out of the Dark Prophecy, that's always good. Now, a lot of them did escape, and they're very low. Maybe need to pop an effigy. Pop an effigy. Looks like Freaky has caught a whiff of an extra base and has an invisible strike force. Watch out, here come all my Argents in to deny another base. And all this time, what do we see here? One base already outmined. We're on 4 base. Doesn't look like a 5th base yet for Freaky. And doesn't look like any additional Seraphim added after the initial creeping and harass. My ace was to try and counter the Dark Prophecy. We see Curse on everything and the really nice attempt to get in some good positioning, but the Dark Prophecies are also really nice. And there's just too much here. A couple Hexen are going to get chased home. But we're at about triple supply right now. TeenyWeeny, though, remaxing really quick, or rebuilding his army as quick as he can. Of course, you can do that. As Infernal, another Dark Prophecy goes down. Slow Magmadons, though. And once again, a little hokey pokey there. Ooh, does get away before we get a big damage. I do like the Shroud on the whole map. TeenyWeeny is really good at using this skill. Not just when he's winning, but like now, when he's in, behind and needs that Shroud. He's got it here. Those poor Magmadons trying to get forward. Yes, they finally get in with their Demon Hoof Tremors. And getting some pretty damage done. Freaky walking under his own Dark Prophecy. It does friendly fire, so don't want to be doing that. But nonetheless, Freaky still has a lot of supply to bring to bear here. Nice Nightfall went down, but now we're seeing Scythes and an Archangel. This is just extra punishing. Ooh, doesn't really get a great Meteor Strike there. Does kill the Hexen, though. But this army here is just chewing up the base. A lot of really low Argents here could use some healing. I think those Animancers have that one skill that allows them to do some healing. Size push forward here, not super great against ground like they used to be a few months ago. Nice Dark Prophecy. So many weak Argents, but there's enough of them to deal with the brutes, and that's going to be it from TeenyWeeny. Alright, we're back in it. We've got, here in the red again, this is TeenyWeeny. And his opponent, playing the Celestial, this is FreakyChamelion. We're on Broken Crown now. As we can see, TeenyWeeny has opened with a shrine up here with the effigy, permanent effigy there. Vault just finished. Are we going to get the Scout Fiends? Yes, we are. This is a TeenyWeeny signature. He's not the only one who does it, of course, but I really like it. I think the reason why it's popular is it gets you that information early. You can get some damage done if you can micro these bad boys a bit. They are a little squishy, and Sovereign's Watch can take them down. Nice little micro as we see TeenyWeeny move the Fiend to the other side. Just gets a couple extra hits off that way while the Morph Board is flying over. Eats the cabbage. Really well done for TeenyWeeny so far. This game he's kept those Fiends alive. Checking thirds. Maybe have to get a little closer there to see the array. I'm not certain. Not certain, but he's got his Fiends chilling there just in case. imp out here, and in teeny weeny style, onto an extra base. Still on a single vault. Yeah, Infernal Fury on the way. Fiend's back out, just trying to check. Are you getting greedy like me? Or are you building more standard? And I think Freaky's kind of standard here. Argent out. Now this scouting strategy for TeenyWeeny, I'm pretty sure, is his way of making sure that there are no units coming over in some kind of all-in push, so that he can be super greedy back home. And as we can see, he hasn't built any units. It's also just banking up money. And that's to put down more shrines, as we'll see here, I assume. Yeah. So, also going for that Infernal Fury, which of course is the go-to upgrade and the go-to playstyle right now for Infernals. Playing with those brutes. We can see how this greedy style has favored his eco. So many shrines, and then so many workers as well. We're on 10 base here, 10 here, 8 over here, another shrine going down. It's just all shrines all day long for TeenyWeeny. You might be thinking, does he really need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shrines? Probably not, actually. But the 7 shrines really speed up the imp production. And remember, this, he's got a brute here. This is like his only supply that isn't in workers. Now Freaky has started building army supply as well. And Freaky has got this third base almost done summoning. Is there some kind of animation? Oh, thought it had already finished. There we go. Seraphim are in for the harass now, but there are already some Gaunts here to try and deal with that. Good control by Freaky, though, to pull the weak one back while folks firing down the Gaunts. So, yeah, that Gaunt. Gaunt. Wow. Shroudstone quickly picked off. Another one picked off as well. Imps in full retreat. They're over here to mine some Therium. And speed camp taken, so the Seraphim have arrived, and they are now forcing TeenyWeeny back in his base and punishing him for his greedy playstyle. Well, is hoping to, as much as they can. This shrine looks like it will go down. But here come the defenders. Nope, not in time. They will go for the speed camp. But the Seraphim take that as an opportunity to fly in and go for more imps. More imps going down. Shroudstone gets sniped. As TeenyWeeny's chasing the Seraphim back and forth. And unfortunately not getting a lot of traction on them just yet. Especially Broken Crown is made for this kind of air abuse. You just fly around, especially for Infernals who have very little anti-air. We can see how TeenyWeeny is forced to make a lot of Gaunts here. Actually getting a few Seraphim here. Finally punishing Freaky just a little bit. But that was really good harass from Freaky, I think, getting lots of imp kills. Also keeping TeenyWeeny kind of pinned in his base, forced on Gaunt tech. Now, did it really impact the economy? Maybe. I mean, TeenyWeeny invested a lot in that. Whether he's still able to produce it at a high level of economy or not, he did invest a lot in that. at the moment, I think he's taking this opportunity to say, hey, I've killed a lot of your Seraphim. Well, you must have been investing a lot of your resources into that. Maybe I can make this happen. And already getting all the Seraphim down there is a lot of Argents in the back. Sovereign's Watch chases them away. But no, they want to fight. Yeah, into the Sovereign's Watch again. Not very advisable. And TeenyWeeny pulls back. Freaky chasing him away. Oh, that's unfortunate. But deciding to just rotate around here. Free out now for the Freaky. Now, I don't know if this engage is good. Yeah, Freaky does pull back. Especially as more reinforcements showing up. And what's this? Even more Gaunts. There is a lot of Gaunts out here. Speedy legs. These Gaunts. Oh, blast nodes. Blast nodes are... Oh, that you don't like to see that. Blast nodes kill Gaunts. That's for sure. But we got the rest of the army coming up here. In the back, blast node's still firing in on it though, but it looks like we're going to go toe-to-toe here. The Purify was fired, but Freaky retreats from it, waiting to get back with his Animancers, which he has. And TeenyWeeny here. Looks like maybe waiting for another time to attack. Would we have more reinforcement? Just a tiny one round of production showing up. Another round. Oh no, these are imps. Of course, imps are more important. Make your imps. Replace your imps when you make buildings like this. TeenyWeeny takes over the speed camp. We get a scan from Freaky. And a Dark Prophecy to kill trees. Hanging out in the speed camp is a great idea. Dark Prophecy can get called. Another Dark Prophecy gets a Gaunt. That allows Freaky to push out and regain the speed camp. I didn't notice this, but Freaky currently controls this speed camp. That's not good for TeenyWeeny. TeenyWeeny should definitely send a unit to take that. But instead it looks like he's going to go for the health camp over here. While also putting down more bases. Bases. That's the way TeenyWeeny likes to play. Kills this. Actually not going for the camp. Goes for the base and kills it. And Magmadon caught in the middle of the map. These units in retreat. Both teams retreating past each other. Scan over here. Sees those units. Dark Prophecy. Very well placed. Gets a good number of Gaunts. Another Dark Prophecy. Another one. Wow. Okay. But we got Weavers now that are trying to go for those Animancers to stop the Dark Prophecy play. While the Gaunts are in retreat. Another Dark Prophecy. Really well done for the Dark Prophecies. From Freaky. But, oh wow, here comes the Magmadon Parade. Literally one by one by one. Come on, Megs, get out there. Now, if they had some speed, this would be really dangerous, but I don't know. Dark Prophecy is going down. Only one, actually. We still have Dark Prophecies on deck. Finally, with a trample. Going for those Argents. Getting at least the front line of Argents and then retreating from the Dark Prophecy. Almost baiting Freaky into his own Dark Prophecy. And pulling back to sit on the Shrouded in the speed camp. Now the speed camp really helps those Magmadons there try and get on top of their units. Now if only he could get that speed upgrade, that would be clutch. We got scanners on the map. Magmadon Force pushes out. Early Dark Prophecy does some zoning. Here we go, big Dark Prophecies. On top of Gaunt's, on top of Bruce. Magmadon's trying to push forward, but the Dark Prophecies slow them down, of course. And we're on top of Freaky's speed camp here. Uses the Unseen Veil, which also gives a speed boost. Magmadon's trying to get something done, but they all trigger. Oh no, and then they're under the Dark Prophecy. They do manage to walk away. They really need to get that speed boost up if they can get it. It doesn't look like it's being researched yet. Another Dark Prophecy. So many Dark Prophecies here, but the Magmadon's finally pushing into the choke. Getting a little bit of traction. But so many Dark Prophecies. I keep saying it because there's so many of them. And actually, look how many. We're up to 10 Animancers. That's kind of a strangely high Animancer count. Meg's just hoping to sit back and heal themselves back up. They really need to go into a healing camp because the Shroud alone is not going to get them there very quickly. This is a shrine. Where's our big bad shrine? Is that a elder? That is an elder. So we should be at 6% per second. We see them regenerating pretty quick here, but they're going to need a couple minutes to get back up to full, which maybe he's going to get. We have an Archangel doing some harass over here. Imps turning to fight him. I love their bravery. I'm cheering for the Imps here. I don't know about you all. Oh, somehow he healed up. What was that about? Flies away. This is a pretty large force from TeenyWeeny. Gonna go for the speed camp. Freaky sees an opportunity and goes for some Dark Prophecies from the high ground to try and take damage on this army as quickly as possible. Although we're now in the base and the Megs are trying to zone in. Oh, that is crazy. Very nice tramples there. Getting on top and now also zoning the Bruce and Fiends in to finish off. Really nice. The Magmadons finally did pay for themselves. They do have their speed upgrade now as well, so that might have been the tail there. And that's GG from Freaky. I guess we need a third match to decide it between these two. We got Freaky in the blue. And we got TeenyWeeny in the red. It's the same colors, it's the same factions, but it's not the same map. We are on Boneyard. We're gonna get a different flavor of match this time, I'm sure. Although let me make a little prediction here. We're gonna get greedy play from TeenyWeeny. And we're gonna get Seraphim from FreakyChamelion to open at least into some Animaster Storms. Pardon me, Dark Prophecies. Technically black holes. That's my guess, because that's what we've seen the first two games. It's just going to come down to execution now. Who's going to be able to pull off their build and their vision better? And we're, you know, I don't spend enough time on the Boneyard checking out the bones. That's what the Boneyard's named for, the bones. Check out these bones. Pretty nice bones. Any other bones I haven't been checking out? Ooh, there's some bones over there. So many bones. Fiends arriving for their scout. Do they see any bones? Oh, they're like, oh, so many bones. I think I missed some of these. A lot of these bones got added in maybe 0.4. I think there was a texture update for the ground. More bones. So this really is the Boneyard now with so many bones. Trying to get a Sarva's Watch, but doesn't get one. Instead, just forces the Morph Cores to play a defensive role for a bit. And we get one cabbage. Yummy yummed. Where you going, bro? Other cabbage over there. Each cabbage is over there, bro. Brew? Maybe he'll go eat his cabbage, or maybe he'll just chill. I'm guessing now we're entering the greedy phase here for the TeenyWeeny. do wonder what this build looks like from TeenyWeeny if he's facing some early pressure. Now remember, he's got his fiends out there to try and detect that pressure if he needs to, so he'll cut workers maybe, or pumps charges. But we're boom. Another shrine. Another shrine. So greedy play definitely coming out. We're on 5 shrines already. But also production's going down. And TeenyWeeny definitely has this timed out in some way. I mean, I'd like to see him under pressure to see how he adjusts his build. How he spends his money to pump units, maybe, instead of imps. We do see a single brute come out. And my guess on this brute is that this vault, the first vault, has reached 3 charges. And he pumps out 1 brute to just make sure all of his buildings are always generating new charges. That's my guess. Might not be fully accurate. However, if you are doing a greedy build like this, that could be a good trick to help out. Because as an Infernal, you want to take advantage of the charge mechanic. What that often means is banking a little more money than your opponents and being a little more reactive to how they play. At the moment, the Seraphim are out, and it looks like brutes are trying to be early aggression, and I like it. I think maybe this should have come a little early. I don't think you can be greedy and early aggress like this. You just don't have enough. Is this going to go down? Oh no, not getting the array. So that is not, not effective harass at all. In fact, those units pretty much got sacrificed. As will these ones. Oh, trying to go for the array. I don't think that was the right choice. Thought he was going to try and run them away. That's early losses here for TeenyWeeny. Freaky out ahead just by being able to defend against those brutes. Brutes should have stayed at home. We got defenses going up. And, I don't want to say this is not a good idea, but it is sure expensive to put down 2 or 3 stones at every base. Now, he's been super greedy, didn't make a lot of units. He did throw some units away, but he didn't make a lot of units. And that means that he can spend a little extra on the towers. Now, the other thing to keep in mind, though, is the towers take imps, and then you got to replace those imps. So the number of towers we got here is another 10 or 15 imps. Seraphim back over here, found the gaunts. This is not good news for the TeenyWeeny. Now, TeenyWeeny does have a bunch of stones up. Stones over here too. But is there enough Seraphim to deal with it? It looks like it so far. And they take out both the towers here. And that's going to force... Oh, we do get a Manifest Shroud Stone. Lots of weak Seraphim. 1 Seraphim goes down. Another one goes down as well. Seraphim in retreat now. So the shrine stays up. Imps back to mining. But I feel like the Seraphim did get kind of what they wanted. Argent showing up as well. So Freaky thinking, I don't need to wait for my big old wall. Maybe I can just do this with Argents alone. Seraphim would be nice to join here. Looks like Freaky changed his mind, and I don't blame him. Regroups with a few more Argents and sends the Seraphim out to go do what they do, which is come creeping, it looks like. Actually, they were just searching. Where are you going to go? He's just harassing. Okay, there are 2 more Shroud Stones here. Turns away. So TeenyWeeny has done a good job to at least keep him from denying bases. This base is still mining, putting more Shroud Stones down. Assume that's another Shroud Stone. No, that's a meat farms. Shroud Stones would be certainly helpful to add back. But perhaps he's anticipating the tech switch into Animancers here for Freaky. Freaky's gone and taken the Luminite Tower. But looks like he might be wanting to move out here. Or maybe just take a forward defensive position. This another base up here, yes. Now TeenyWeeny does have a pretty good army to answer now too as well. Rebuilding back up, adding those Hexen in there. And we can see the training on the way, as well as Reaper's Rush, it looks like. Big Dark Prophecy there. No! Oh! 6 Gaunts going down to that Dark Prophecy. Really, really lucky hit there. Another Dark Prophecy. Oh! Gaunts are just so flimsy and squishy, and they're also a small unit model. Which means a bunch of them get together there. Oh, this is not looking good for TeenyWeeny, as that's a bit of a choke there. Yeah, we get some Dark Prophecies really well executed. More Gaunts going down. Ooh, trying to get a flanking army, but unfortunately not. It's so hard to maneuver here on Boneyard around all these little chokes. It can be good for flanks and such, but in this case it's Freaky who's getting the advantage, being able to be open on his side while forcing TeenyWeeny to fight in the chokes. Huge Dark Prophecies there, melting a lot of army, and then positioning in the choke with the heals up for the Animancers. This is actually working out really well for Freaky. Keeps repositioning to try and get in good positions. Nightfall Infestation goes down to add curse to everything, but most of the Infernal army has melted. And Freaky is still up. 100 supply lead now after that. Fiend scouting some bases. Imp over here ready to be a base. But TeenyWeeny has become more worried now, as he should be, about getting his army up. He's putting down 4 more vaults. We see the first Magmadons coming out, and it was Magmadons that helped push into this transition last time. Magmadons are more resilient against the Dark Prophecies. They can take a few before dying, unlike those Gaunts. And if they can get all their upgrades and have a little luck and speed, they can get on top of this army, split it in 2, and force it to take a ton of AoE damage. More mags up. We're up to 4. Dark Prophecies. As we saw there, the Dark Prophecies went down, but they didn't kill those mags. That one mag, oh, it's still staying alive. Don't walk out into the Dark Prophecy. Oh. Well positioned. The Dark Prophecies are mostly just zoning right now. There's still more to be had. But here come the tramples. Getting out. Oh, just getting the lip of that army. And the Dark Prophecies again forcing TeenyWeeny to walk through them to get to the army. Not only does that slow the units down, but of course doing a ton of damage. Really devastating damage. Once again, walking through Dark Prophecies. Hokey pokey, no! You put your left hand in and you shake it all about. Really nice Dark Prophecies up on the high ground, right on the ramp there. Oh, huge blast on that last one. Very low Argents, but they did take out this base. There we get some of those healing from the Animancers. Another Magmadon shows up, really well done, actually getting on top of those units. But the healing from the Animancers has helped as well to get a lot of these Argents back up to near full, so that they can sustain more attacks. There we see the healing again. And getting a lot of units again, up to very close to full. TeenyWeeny doing a great job keeping units alive and having them stream out here, but he's really just sending units into the meat grinder here. The Animancers just slowly recharge their mana, their MP there, and then boom, they just bust another Dark Prophecy. Now they're just using Dark Prophecies because why not? I hate trees. Let me kill more trees. Yeah. Take that, trees. You know what you've done. Exactly. Oh, but that looks like that will be GG once the trees have gone down.